Hey guys, XJ9 here, and today is going to be a patch 12.2 notes. Pretty big patch, I think, in terms of balance, but small at the same time. I'm going to try and make this very short, so we're just going to go right into it, honestly. So Champion Zeri is coming out. This champion's kind of like a mobile marksman that autos with cast Qs, like, as in, like, its auto attacks is her Qs. So I don't know if people are gonna actually play her because people don't. I don't know. Like Cass is really strong, for example, but I don't know if the fact that you just spam so much makes her annoying to play or something. I don't know. Um, so we'll see how she actually pans out. I have a feeling that it if people like her personality, I think they'll play her. If if she's OP, they'll play her. But like if she ends up being like really boring and repetitive, people are gonna drop her. Which is the only saving grace at that point would be her personality, honestly, kind of like Jin or something. So, because I remember when Jin came out, people thought he was weak, but people liked him a lot, so they kept playing him. And then people slowly realized Jin is just absolutely busted, and no matter what happens to him. So, uh, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I can't really talk about like the numbers, even if it was there. You can't really say much. I mean, I'm sure you know what she does. You could probably just Google it, but yeah, we'll see how she pans out. So Janna, she's getting like a mini rework here. So movement speed was 315, now it's 330. So that's 15 more movement speed. Base AD was 46 to 71. Now it's 52 to 103. That's quite a lot more base AD. 80 growth was 1.5. Now it's 3. That's a lot more 80 growth. Uh, Basic attack range was 550. Now it's 500. So a little bit less attack range, but she has a lot more uh, auto attack damage. So I don't know, maybe to encourage harassment or weaving in autos, especially the early game and maybe even late. Honestly, passive Tailwind. Uh, what was removed was Janna's basic attacks and W Zephyr no longer deal bonus magic damage based on her bonus movement speed. So that's gone, which kind of explains the base AD buffs. Updated Tailwind. Janna gains 8% bonus movement speed while moving towards ally champions. Bonus movement speed for ally champions moving towards Janna Unchained. So, did they remove? Yeah, yeah. So they lowered her movement speed. So yeah, so they lowered her base movement speed, and she can get that movement speed back, and I think she gets like 8 or 10 more movement speed now, like base, moving towards allies. But like yeah, if she doesn't have an ally near, and she's just like venturing off, she can get caught out quite easily. Howling Gale Q. Mana cost was 60 to 140, now it's 60 to 100. That's a lot cheaper if you rank it up. Minimum range was 1,000, and now it's 1,100. Max range was 1,750, now it's 1,760. So if you just quickly just throw it out, it's a bit longer. But if you let it charge, it's 10 longer. Not that big of a deal, but it can matter. Time to destination was 1.5 seconds. Now it's 1.25 seconds. That's quite a big buff. This if it travels faster, harder to react to it. Adjust yourself. So that's quite big. Could easily set up a gank, honestly. But hopefully they walk into it right. W Zephyr. Range was 550 from edge to edge. Now it's 650 to centered. I'm honestly not even quite sure what that even means. I think I know what that means. I think this is the center of the champion, and so like I think it's the same range. Maybe it's a consistency issue just because of hitboxes of champions. I'm not quite sure, but maybe it's probably the same. Slow duration was 2 seconds. Now it's 3 seconds. That's a lot. That's a big buff so far. Cooldown was 8 to 6 seconds. Now it's 12 seconds all ranks, so more impactful. Base damage was 550 to 175. Now it's 70 to 190. That's quite nice. Bonus movement speed was 6 to 10%. Now it's 8 to 12%. Um, I'm not sure that the bonus is that bonus movement speed of Janna though. I think it is. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is. So again, I don't really play Janna, so I don't really know exactly what she even had. I mean, I'm so used to like the really old school Janna. so overall, right now, the Q is insane. W is pretty insane, just because I'm guessing the slow isn't and changed on it, but it looks more impactful. So you can slow someone, have a Q charging, slow them, and then get a nice Q on them. E, Eye of the Storm. Uh, Update innate. Uh, innate. Whenever Janna's ability is slow or knock up at least one enemy champion, uh, before it was East, Eye of the Storm's cooldown is reduced by 20%. However, they removed that, and now she receives 20% heal and shield power for 5 seconds. So, um, yeah. So if she uses, I'm not sure if it could stack. I don't think it can. But so yeah, if you hit your W or your Q on someone and shield someone, or even you'll use your ultimate, you're gonna heal a lot more and shield a lot more. Shield was 80 to 220 plus 70% AP. Now it's 80 to 200 plus 65% AP. Overall better. Cooldown was 16 to 12 seconds. Now it's 15 to 9 seconds. So at all ranks, it's a lot faster to spam. Shield decay start after 0.75 seconds, but now it was changed to 1.25 seconds. That's quite big as well. Um, Healing tick rate was zero point 0.5 seconds. On our ultimate, now it's 0.25 seconds. And the total amount's unchanged, so that's a big buff as well. So, for instance, let's say you're only able to channel for, I don't know, 0.75 seconds. On live, you would only get one heal, and you would miss half of a heal. But now you actually don't, which is actually quite big. I'm not sure about you and Max. I mean, I don't play John. Maybe I'll. I actually like support, but I don't really have to. I don't get to play it. So, whatchamacallit? I don't know. Jungle's a support role, right? But I mean, honestly, all in all, it seems pretty good. It seems everything works together. So, pretty excited, I guess. So hopefully that goes well, I guess, because people just gotta stop playing Janna. I think the fact that her E is back to a longer duration before the decay will make people go play her again. Lulu, um, her W was 16 to 12 seconds. Now it's 17 to 13 seconds, so 1 second longer. Um, so that's pretty good. It's only a second, but I mean, whatever. Nocturne, health growth was 85. Now it's 95. So yeah, 10 more HP is pretty good. I'm not sure if it counts level 1 or it's like level 2, 3, 4 all the way to 18. But it's 170. I think it's like 170 HP. So yeah, he gets another 170 HP. It's pretty good. It's actually especially good if you're going an assassin route, just because he can actually afford to be a assassin. And Q Death Sprayer bonus AD ratio was 75. Now it's 85% bonus AD. It's pretty good. What was the reason? Nocturne has been a nightmare to play as in all skill brackets, regardless of his builds or runes. We're buffing him with some scaling power, so he can become more useful as the game progresses, rather than just relying his ultimate as his only way is to stay lights out. It's interesting though, because I don't know. He's a weird champion because sometimes you want to build Strikebreaker, but maybe you should build Duskblade. I don't even know. I mean, honestly, I feel it's more of a even just like lethality. I think he's more encouraged to be lethality, but I don't know how good Strikebreaker is on him. I mean, because Duskblade would slow, which is kind of what you need anyway. So I don't know. Let's see how this pans out. Kiana, base health duration was 7.5. Now it's 6 seconds. So that's a lane nerf, but it's most importantly actually a jungle nerf. She probably will still be able to jungle, but yeah, that base HP, base health regen nerf buff she got before was pretty much what made her able to jungle. They didn't want her to jungle, so they nerfed her attack speed, but they buffed her base stats, which made her able to jungle again quite well. Her Q, grass trail zone duration was 3.5 seconds. Now it's 3 seconds, so I think she needs like a lot of CDR now to actually chain it or be perm self. I'm not even sure if she can do it anymore. She probably can, but it probably requires a lot more CDR. Kiana is dominating elite play quite a bit right now. We're reducing how much time she gets to spend being invisible in a fight, which should help lower some frustrations when playing against the Empress elements. Yeah, so she should be a bit more weaker than jungle as in vulnerable to actual junglers. So we'll see about how that happens. Rengar, hide and leap, innate. Rengar cannot leap to enemies with his next base attack when he's in camouflage. So this is a buff to Chem Tech, and also I think Senna. People keep on talking about Senna, so Senna's W should work with it. As a primarily jungler, this battle kitty has been suffering a lot on the Chem Tech rift. While he's not the only champion affected, Rengar has certainly gotten the worst of it, as much of his power budget is dedicated to his passive interaction with Brush. Removing 12 spots of it is incredibly disruptive, not just to his core farming pattern, but his entire gameplay, really. So we're giving him a new way to pounce and prowl. No catnip needed. Note that his passive is R and only take effect once he ranks up his ultimate. Um. Okay. Well, he better be level 6 by the time a second dragon dies. Okay. You gotta be really bad. That's what's funny. They could have decided and said anything like, who the fuck, who is that level 6 by then? I don't know. Samara, our base damage increase, our Inferno trigger. Physical damage per shot was 0 to 20. plus 50% 80. Now it's 5, 15, 25 plus 50% 80. Total damage per target was 0, 100, 200 plus 500% 80. Now it's 50, 150, 250. So, yeah, this is a slight nudge just because shield bow got nerfed. I guess the shield itself was quite bad, but like they probably want to give a little bit of the 80 back from nerfing the I think 580 off the shield bow. So yeah. We'll see how that goes out. I mean, I'm not sure if she really needed that shield or if again because like she's not the only champion that builds shield bow. So it's like other 80 carries can build it, and so if she's like she's a burst character, so if they don't have shield bow, that's not like that's good for her. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. This is a pretty good buff overall as compensation. Uh, Senna Q now slows enemies. Q piercing darkness. Now slows all enemies struck by 20% plus 6% per 100% AP plus 20% per 100% 100 bonus 80 for 2 seconds. I mean, honest, this buff actually seems freaking busted because yeah, like she's literally not even losing anything out of this. Like she's literally getting a keystone built onto her now for free. Like she's literally not losing anything. But like, yeah, her win rate's bad, but like you can argue win rate's bad just because people are bad or something. Honestly, but I don't know. What runes do people take on her? Grasp, Shield Ares probably Shield Ares probably the best. Ares probably the best. Yeah. Um, Only 5% people take that. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Um, I don't know. I often wish it was better slowing resist items. Like Boost of Swiftness is the only one. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how this pans out. She's the 80 carry. I mean, not 80 carry, support 80 carry or whatever. She can be 80 carry with a fasting Senna or whatever. Shen Q damage decreased. So yeah, Shen needed a nerf because he's just dominant. He's like overpowered and really easy to play. Increased bonus damage. It was 1040 plus 6 every 3 levels. 5 to 7% total of the target's maximum HP. And now it's the same base. The only thing getting changed here is instead of 5 to 7% of the target's maximum HP, it's 4 to 6%. Um, that's quite a big nerf. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's even enough. He might even need a little bit more. I'm not even joking, but we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty much just saying he's OP because he just deals too much damage on top of being super tanky and mass presence. But we'll see how that goes. So yeah, Tom Kench is getting reworked to not be hopefully in the top lane yet again. So what they did was enemy slow was 40%. Now it's 50%. Let me also make sure I'm recording. I believe I'm recording. I am recording. Good. The Q slow was 40%. Now it's 50%. So it's buff. To support. They're aiming for support. Amount of damage stored into great HP was 45 to 65. But now it's changed to 15 to 55. Increased to 45 to 65 if there are 2 or more visible enemy champions nearby, dead or alive. So, yeah, that's pretty much. Tom Kench doesn't max his E, so if once you have this max rank, if you're alone, it's a nerf, but it's not a big nerf. But yeah, early on you lose 30% of your HP taken that would have been on a shield, so that's quite a big nerf. Really try to encourage him to be a support right here. So that I pretty much guts him a lot, honestly. Because shield bash, he's a huge shield bash abuser. Amount of healing restored from great HP was 30 to 100%. Now it's 45 to 100%. So yeah, he also heals more in the support role instead of having to use his shield as well. This doesn't really buff him in top lane at all, so that's good. Yeah, Rip Tomkin jungle, that thing is gone. R Devour ally shield upon Devour. Sorry, was 400 to 600 plus 100% AP. Now it's 500 to 900 plus 150% AP. That's freaking nuts AP ratio. Um, that's a really big shield, like a really big shield. Movement speed upon devouring ally, he was slowed by 30 to 10%. Now he's grant him 40% movement speed for 3 seconds, regardless of the swallow duration. So yeah, if he eats two spits out, he still has that movement speed. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Definitely looks like a sport. I think it's done top lane. So RIP Tompkins top and even jungle, even though no one really did in jungle anymore. Talon W monster damage ratio decrease was 130%. Now it's 105%. I mean, hey, he still has 5% more damage, but like, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't have to ban him anymore. He might be still really cheesy, but I don't know. I remember I think I went on Talon's main Reddit or something, and people were like, "Oh, you could do this before the," but like, yeah, you can do it, but like the issue is that Talon jungle is too overpowered and impressive, and so what did Riot to say? We introduced Talon Jungle in 11.18 in hopes of bringing new players and playstyles into jungle. Ended up becoming one of the stronger jungle assassins, especially in elite play where his mobility, damage, and clear speed are almost unmatched. He's still extremely fun as a flex pick, but we also understand that his current state has a few weaknesses, which can be frustrating to play against. In turn, we're heavily nerfing his clear speed to tune him down. He'll still be viable there and keep his high mobility edge, but you might need to think a little longer before jumping into the jungle with him. Yeah, so we'll see how this pans out. I might ban him for a little bit until he dies out. I don't know, because I hate dealing with this champion. He's really annoying. Yeah, like you can probably cancel jungle, but like they said, but like it's not meant to be like the most broken shit in the world. Um, Tristan, base HP was 550, now 600. Big HP buff. Base health regen was 3.75, now it's 4. Quite a big buff. Um, they're they're pretty much just saying we need a buffer. That's all they said there. Vigar is getting a huge buff. Cooldown on his Q was 7 to 5 seconds, now it's 6 to 4 seconds. Ginormous buff because, well, this is the thing that gives him AP and scale. Stacks granted upon killing large monsters and minions was 2, now it's 3. So that's another buff. Hopefully they don't tax my jungle that much, right? But the most important thing is just his Q being able to CS. You can CS safer as well. So Vigar's gonna be a more safer pick actually too. So um, I'm honestly surprised they're buffing him because I actually think he's really strong. If anything, he's underplayed. So we'll see how he goes. I honestly just think he's strong. So good luck. Volibear is getting buffed. Um, so the once fearsome Volibear is bad for everyone everywhere. We're giving him a reliable baseline stat buff and more access to his signature Stormy skill. Attack damage gross was 3, now it's 3.5. So in total, like, what is he getting? Like at least 8 AD at level 18 or whatever. Right? I think like 8.5. That's pretty good. I mean, at level 4, you have 1.5 more AD, and he has actually really good AD scaling. So that that buff right there is actually quite big. His E was 15 seconds cooldown. Now it's 13. That's actually really nice for jungle, just because well, is it nice? I don't know how nice it is. I don't know. Like I it never felt awkward. So in jungle, it's actually kind of fine. I guess maybe early on, but like it's very nice having his like big utility slash I don't know. That his E is a really big spell, so that's a big buff, honestly. So yeah, he's probably really really good now. I actually already found him good, so there you go. We're gonna probably pick him up now again. The increasing the AD ratio on Yasuo and Yuan's Q by 5% just because of the shield bow nerf, because they always build it. Zed, our base damage ratio decreased. It was 100% AD plus 25 to 55% of the damage dealt. Now it's 65% AD plus 25 to 55 of the damage dealt. Zed has been creeping up from the shadows in terms of both power and ban rate. We're tapping him back down in a way that will require him to make better use of his base kit to secure kills. Yeah, pretty much people are getting frustrated that he can just ult you and just auto EU and not even hit a Q and he kills you. So, the nerf's fine. I think it's justified. So I don't mind. I think that's fine. Because if he hits a Q on you or two, you're definitely, especially two, you're dead. It's not a total damage nerf, which is probably the biggest part of the kit. So, yep. It's a very light nerf, honestly. So, Lichbane's getting a massive change. At the start of season 2021, we revamped Lichbane to broaden its user base by removing its ability haze, increasing Spellblade's damage and cooldown. This was a mistake because this made too much burst. These changes made it very powerful as a burst tool, but that burst tool also got a few nerfs throughout the year. As a result, Lichbane is left feeling pretty underwhelming for its core users, so we're partially restoring it to a healthier state. So, what's happening to it? It's getting total cost unchanged. Blasting Wall and Aether Wisp plus Sheen was, and 600 gold was the previous thing, or the buy. Now it's Fiendish Codex plus Aether Wisp plus Sheen. That is already huge because, well, now you get to build the CDR early, which is nice. You don't rush item, but it is still nice. It's better than a Blasting Wand. Ability haste was 0, now it's 15. That's also good. Spellblade damage was 150% base AD plus 40% AP. Now it's 75% base AD plus 50% AP. That's quite big as well. Spellblade cooldown was 2.5. Now it's 1.5 seconds. Yeah, Zeri was quite strong now. They pretty much, instead of just buffing the AP, they reduced the. I mean, I'm actually curious about what exactly was the state of Lichbane when they buffed it and it was like overpowered. Let's look. Yeah, so that's the mistake they made, and this might be actually a healthier version. Before it was 60% AP and still kept the 150% base AD, which was nuts. So throwing down the base AD by half, 75% is huge. And yeah, they're not giving it 10 more AP, so that's quite nice. It makes it also scale better because I think mages would rather, the intended user would rather have AP scaling than base AD scaling. So that's pretty good. I don't know if it even has movement speed, so it probably does. Does it? I don't even know if it does. I think it does. I think it still kept its movement speed. So yeah, pretty good item. Yeah, that's. I don't know. It's interesting because yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just really thinking because I think the problem is that Cosmic Drive is such a strong item. I think even on Evelyn that some Evelyns stop building this item, but I think they'll probably start building this because it gives the CDR now. Plus, you can start using Q auto QQ and then like save the last Q for an auto. I guess maybe I don't know. So we'll see how this pans out. That's only an Evelyn thing. Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Combined cost was reduced by 400, so it's 400 gold cheaper. Ability power was lowered from 90 to 75. Health was 350, now it's 400. Overall, this is a better item. It's cheaper, a lot cheaper. If you're buying this item, you likely want the tankiness, not the AP. So, yeah, this item might even make Lily a lot better as well, just because this is an item she actually likes a lot. Uh, Pretty good just for utility, honestly. Like, the slow is actually really good. So, yeah, getting a Raleigh second might be really good on Lily now, just because it's a lot cheaper and it gives you more HP. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Turbo Chem Tank. What the heck are they doing here? I don't know. So, Turbo Tank's update during preseason 2022 was designed to let tanky gankers initiators store movement into one big turbo blast for those movements when they gotta go fast. However, Refuel was stacking too well with dashes, which meant it was being used as a DPS source for non-tanks. While we admire the creativity here, Turbo Tank is supposed to be well for tanks, so we're adding some limits to the way its passive stacks. Ultimately, these adjustments shouldn't affect its intended use case very much. These changes also apply to its Orn Masterwork item. Yes. So, refuel passive damage stacks. Gain 5 stacks. So, before it was gain 5 stacks per instance of any damage dealt. Now it's gain 5 stacks per instance of damage dealt against monsters and champions only. So, now you can't actually get stacks off. What's it call it? Creeps. Okay. I also didn't know it's 5 stacks per. I thought it was just based on damage dealt. No, it's 5 stacks per instance of any damage. That's actually interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I'll be honest, I didn't even know that. Ooh. Reroll passive movement stacks. Um, Before it was gain 1 stack for every 15 units traveled uncapped. Now it's gain 1 stack for every 15 units traveled, capped at 10 stacks per movement command. So yeah, it's pretty good too. Um, That's a pretty big nerf on general on the item. And it's funny because like Hecarim's not even a tank; he's like a fighter. So yeah, that's interesting. Because the collies were building this and stuff, so that's interesting. Oh, interesting. We'll see how that item goes. Chemtech Rip. Oh, sorry, I just skipped stuff. Chemtech Dragon. Zombie health on the soul was 80% base HP and 50% bonus HP. And now it's 50% base HP and 40% bonus HP. Now the duration without other health impacting factors was 4 seconds. Now it's 3 seconds of living. So now they also are changing the Chemtech Rift. Uh, so we're making a few changes to make the head enemy team slightly less advantage when fighting the Chemtech Rift. Now is a good time to mention we stealth nerfed the Chemtech Rift's last patch. At launch, champions instantly enter camouflage when they enter the fog. In 11.24, we made the camouflage timer check if you made any offensive moves in the last 1.5 seconds upon entering the fog as well. The only change to the camouflage mechanic this patch is increased to that timer. So offensive action camouflage timer is 1.5 seconds, now it's 2.5 seconds. Bonus damage versus enemies with more current HP was up to 10%, now it's up to 12%. So, interesting. Pretty sure the current. I'm not sure the current HP is a percentage based or not, but yeah. I'm not also sure if you get that bonus by just staying in there or if it's like going out of stealth for a few seconds. I actually have no idea. I actually tried googling this before. I couldn't find it, but yeah. There you go. Hextech Dragon. The soul is really strong. So chain lightning true damage was 25 to 75 based on attacker's level 1 through 18. Now it's 25 to 50 based on attacker's level. Yeah, this thing has so much utility that the damage it had was actually freaking insane. So that's good. A good nerf. It's still a very individual dragon to get just because the CDR and attack speed is really good. Lethal tempo change. Attack speed per stack was 13% for melee. Now it's 10 to 15%. Attack speed per stack for range was 7%. Now it's 5 to 9%. So first off, for melee, so this is actually really interesting. It's interesting they're doing this because they rarely do things like this. So with the levels, like that they nerfed it. Now it's 10 to 15% attack speed based on level. However, it's levels 1 through 15 for melee, and for ranged, it's 5 to 9% levels 1 through 12. So after the laning phase ends, you're pretty much good to go. It's even a buff in a lot of cases. It's probably not to make the lanes so snowbally though, and more so for early game. And yeah, I mean honestly, this is still a very good rune to take. Um, like at level, I believe like 8 or maybe 9, your attack speed in melee is gonna be exactly the same, and like by default you get level like 3 or 4, so you're only dealing with like I don't know a 2% nerf honestly to your attack speed, so that's not a real big deal against champions per stack, and it scales better. So yeah, like a champion like Vi, I would still take this rune. Um, this is very interesting. That's a very interesting thing to do. Might even take lethal tempo on Viego again, but I don't know. Maybe it depends. So I don't know. Interesting stuff. We'll see how it goes. It's overall this is a good healthy change. Still very strong on champions that use it like as a main rune. Don't care about Earth. Someone got some overhaul on her skins. Vayne got some overhauls as well. And the only big bug was teleport. Like what? Not, like they pretty much just fixed some teleport bugs and stuff. Like you're not supposed to be able to teleport to a minion before 14 minutes. Um, Hey, but chat restriction notifications have been fixed and will again inform players on how many messages they have left in their limit. So, yeah, that's that. And there's some new cute skins, like that Moo one, and some new chromas with an event pass. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Tell me what you think in the comments, maybe. And, yeah. If you want to also watch my stream, go to my Twitch on twitch.tv/xlol. Thanks. Bye.